the plate, not in time, and China strikes here in the first.
He's going for the save. Can he do it here?
You can. And Brazil hangs on.
This is the last stop on the road to the 2026 World Baseball Classic. Tonight, from Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium in Tucson, Arizona, the final ticket will be punched in a winner-take-all between Brazil and Germany. They are looking to join Colombia, Nicaragua, and Chinese Taipei as the final entrant in next year's WBC. Sadly, for the final time here in Tucson, we say hello to you from our happy booth. Alongside the former Pirate and Cub Stephen Brault, I'm Greg Caserta. So great to be with you once again. And we saw these two teams get together just a couple of days ago. Brazil hanging on for a 9-7 win in the tightest game of this qualifier.
Yeah, what really ended up being the only close game in this qualifier. We saw Tommy Somer come out and give 3 perfect innings, but in the 4th inning, Jaden Agassi came in and could not keep the Brazilian bats down. They scored 4 runs that inning, and from then on, it was Brazil's game. Germany did a great job of coming back, but they just left too many people on base. They left 14 runners on base. That's too many. And so it was good to see Germany kind of come back, but Brazil kept pulling away. 1 run in the 6th, 2 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th, 1 in the 9th, and that's how you secure a win.
Who blinks first tonight? That's what we are about to find out. It's amazing how quickly momentum shifts. Stephen and I talked about it when we started this qualifier a few days ago. One day you're hot, the next day you're not. And we saw Eric Pardinho come in, pick up the 2-inning save, and give Brazil a much-needed win. So suddenly Brazil's in the driver's seat. They got blanked by Colombia 5-0 in the opener. Suddenly this offense has woken up, and they've scored 21 runs in the last 2.
Yeah, it's opened up in a big way. Think about this. The first 12 innings of their World Baseball Classic qualifier, they did not score a run. Since then, the last 13 innings, they have scored 21 runs on 24 hits. So this offense has definitely woken up. We've seen great performances from all over their lineup. Lucas Hoju, who we didn't talk about much before, went 4 for 5 against China. And of course, Reginato coming through in big ways. Lucas Ramirez still doing big things for this Brazilian team. Their pitching has been good. We knew that. But their offense has really taken off, and that is why they're in this game tonight.
Germany's dropped 2 straight. They opened the tourney with a 12-2 win, run rule victory over China, but now their backs are against the wall because remember, they're playing for their first ever trip in the WBC.
And this is something that you need to be able to figure out how you're going to win this game. Brazil has been getting better. Unfortunately, Germany looks like they have been playing worse baseball as the qualifiers have gone on. We saw a lot of mistakes, especially in the first inning against Colombia. They ended up giving up 5 runs, only 2 of them being earned because of some errors and misplays by the German defense and Alex Schmidt at shortstop, along with some free bases with the hit by pitch. Today, Germany is pretty well oiled up to use the right pitchers in the right situations.
Brazil has been here before. Their lone WBC appearance came back in 2013, the same year that Stephen Brault was drafted.
Panama's down 1-0 in the top of the 9th. Velasquez at 3rd, Santa Maria at 2nd. The tie and go-ahead runs. One of these sides about to explode.
This is national pride on the line here.
Brazil is marching to the World Baseball Classic. They have shocked Panama on a triumph that will never be forgotten in the country of Brazil.
And you get your first look at Brazilian starter Thiago da Silva, who pitched in that 2013 World Baseball Classic, but not as a member of Brazil. 3 appearances with Italy in 2009, 2013, and 2017. He got a no decision against the eventual champion from the Dominican Republic. Here you get a look at him wearing the Italian blues, the Forza Azzurri. Here he is carving up Mexico in the 2017 WBC qualifier. 3 relief appearances. Tonight he makes the start. When he faced the DR, allowed just 2 runs over 5 1/3. Struck out Edwin Encarnacion and Alejandro De Aza. He also threw 3 1/3 innings in relief against Mexico and struck out former big leaguer Jorge Cantu twice. This is a big start for him. It's also a really big game for German national team manager Jendrik Speer, who told us, Steven, coming into this, they had one singular goal, one singular focus, and now they are 1 win away from their first trip to the WBC.
They are, and we saw him play a great game. This lineup has been pretty consistent throughout the tournament. We do see Donald Lutz back in that 7 spot. We know the big lefty can provide some power. He's got one of only 2 home runs that have been hit in these qualifiers, so definitely somebody you want to keep an eye on. We see Walter back in the lineup, down in the 6th spot. That's going to be huge. He made a few mistakes in right field that really hurt Germany, but his bat can take them a long way.
Deutschland in the black tops with the white pants, and you've got Brazil going in the white with blue trim. A gorgeous look at the Catalina foothills here in Tucson. We were not sure about the weather just 2 days ago, but it has cooperated. Partly cloudy skies and the perfect backdrop. And like we talked about, partner, when we came on the air for the first time on Sunday, every game feels like a Game 7, and this is Game 7 of the Tucson qualifier. So now, Eric Brink, it's your turn to try and set the tone for Team Germany. 0 for 13, a walk and 5 strikeouts. And Thiago da Silva comes down the hill with ball 1.
Last time these 2 teams played, Germany left a lot of runners on base. Getting runners on base was not the problem. 11 walks by this Brazilian team. Germany has shown they're going to be patient, so we'll see if they're going to keep on that today.
Da Silva making his 3rd appearance for Brazil. 2 1/3 innings, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks, and a strikeout. All of those in relief. Tonight they're trusting the 39-year-old veteran with the start. Again, he turns 40 later this month. And now Brink over short, and there it is. The first base hit to give Germany life right out of the gate.
This is why I love baseball. Eric Brink came into this tournament. He's a team captain. We talked about him quite a bit as somebody who was going to be a big part of this German offense. Well, he has not factored into the offense at all as of yet. So this is really good to see, a good sign for the German offense and for Eric Brink himself, because you know what? He could have over for the whole tournament, come out today and have a good game, and nobody's going to care about the rest of the tournament at all.
You can become the hero so quickly, and now the weight of the world is off of Eric Brink's shoulders with that leadoff base hit. Lou Helmick, who was 1 for 5 with a double and an RBI. Look at this. Runner on the move. Runner gets over. Bichette fields, underhands to Da Silva, and Germany has a man in scoring position early.
It was actually a nice little play by Bichette there. On the bounce, that one is a little scary. First baseman coming over into that second base hole. How many times have you seen a first baseman try to make that play? The ball bounces off his glove, so what would have been an easy play for the second baseman ends up being no outs made at all. So really good to see. Good choice there not to even worry about going to second, just get that out of first.
And then on the back half of that, Da Silva getting over very quickly to get that feed in stride. Brink, the single, was on the move. They stay out of the double play. And a chance for the middle of this order. The 2 best hitters so far for Germany. Lucas Dunn now, Simon Baumgart on deck. They are both 4 for 10 to lead this offense. Dunn coming off a 2 for 2 performance the other night against Colombia. He added a double. And he went around. Da Silva really slows him down.
Let's take a look at that play again. I just want to show us, as a pitcher, whenever a ball's hit to that side, you need to start going over there. You see Da Silva, it's not a dead sprint because it's a slow rolling ground ball. You kind of want to time that out, actually, because if you're dead sprinting, you get there before the ball's handed to you, and now you got to find the base. It makes it more difficult. I thought he played that very well.
Again, Dunn out in front. He's quickly behind in the count, 0-2. He was 0 for 3 against Brazil, which means he hit against everybody else. Again, 4 for 10 in total, 3 doubles, a couple of knocked in for the German center fielder Lucas Dunn. Former Louisville Cardinal, who played in the 2019 College World Series. And timeout called. A very late timeout was granted right there. And it was actually a pitch clock violation on Thiago da Silva, so that bumps up Dunn to a 1-2 count.
You know, you just don't see that very much, because usually when a pitcher comes set
it's not about whether they're going to actually deliver before 0. You know, we don't see that violation very much, but that's number 5 of the tournament, by the way.
And there's a strikeout for De Silva. He had Dunn overmatched, and there's out number 2.
Do you call that overmatched or do you call it undermatched? Lucas Dunn unable to wait back on 3 breaking balls that he got from De Silva. That actually looks like a changeup on the back door right there. A good pitch from De Silva, and Dunn just unable to hold up for 3 swings. He's going to have to make an adjustment next time around.
3 have come to the plate. 7 pitches from De Silva. And it's Simon Baumgart, just like Dunn, 4 for 10. He was 2 for 5 with a run against Brazil, and he whacks one over short. There's a base hit. Brink is on his way in. The throw cut off. Germany's got a 1-0 lead.
Okay, so if Brink is not going on the ground ball to first, he probably gets thrown out at second there by Dante Bichette. Instead, gets himself in a scoring position, and I feel like we've said it the entire tournament, but Simon Baumgart once again coming through in the clutch. Not a big surprise here. Great swing straight to the ball, hard line drive, and a nice try there by Ito over at shortstop, but just no chance making that play. And look at that early lead for Germany.
They were shut out on Tuesday night, 10-0 by Colombia. They have scored here in the first, and now it's Sean Larry taking a look at a first pitch strike. Larry's only hit was that 2 RBI double in Game 1 against China. You see the numbers overall: 2 walks, 5 strikeouts. And a throw back to check on Baumgart following his team-leading 5th hit, a 1-0 German lead. Now Baumgart does have a stolen base.
You beat me to it, partner.
That's something that you look at the numbers, and overall Brazil has the edge in almost every category, but they have not attempted a stolen base yet, whereas Germany's a perfect 3 for 3.
And both of these teams mercy ruled China by a score of 12-2. So, and then they played each other, and they both lost to Colombia. So this is a great matchup. I think this is the best matchup we could have gotten for this game.
No question about it. A 9-7 win. We'll get another look at that last pitch right there, with home plate umpire Harley Acosta not giving De Silva the call. Now a 2-1. Slow tapper out to the mound. De Silva is there right near first, and he funnels it to Bichette to end the inning, but the Germans get a run on Baumgart's RBI single, and Brazil's coming up for the first time. Here's the Brazilian lineup for this must-win game, and 44-year-old manager Yuichi Matsumoto feels like he has the right pieces in place because Brazil has woken up from their slumber. They were shut out 5-0 by Colombia to open up this qualifier, and as we talked about, they've looked quite good in their last 2 wins, scoring 21 runs in their wins over Germany and China. Nicholas Rimmel, first appearance of this qualifier for Germany. And he's got some pretty hard stuff, but he's down low to Gomez 2-0.
I think Rimmel is one of my favorite under the hood kind of stories here. A guy who had 5 very successful years in affiliated baseball not very long ago, but maybe didn't have the stuff that they were looking for. I mean, a 2.66 ERA and 142 minor league innings. That's pretty good, but he's been playing with Team Germany for a long time.
And there's a 4-pitch walk with a lot of Brazilian fans hovering behind that third base dugout. Certainly looks like a bigger Brazilian contingent here at Quino Veterans Memorial Stadium. So just like the Germans in the top half, the Brazilians get the leadoff man on.
Take a look at Nicholas Rimmel's stats. The minor leagues, look at those numbers. 2.66 ERA, 142 innings, 137 strikeouts. Recently, he's been pitching for the Bone Capitals in the Bundesliga.
Lucas Ramirez, there's at a first pitch strike. Now, Ramirez did not play the other day, but he's had a great tournament, 3 for 9 with a double and an RBI. Keep an eye on Gomez over at first. Again, the Brazilians have not attempted a stolen base thus far. Get an idea. There's Manny, back for round 4. You get the sense from when we've shown him here that Manny is a very popular man. He's always on the phone, he's always talking, and he is locked in.
As he would be.
A ball and a strike on his 19-year-old son. Ramirez chops one. That's a base hit inside the third base bag. He has shown the ability to hit to all fields, and now he follows the play into second. And look out, here comes Brazil with second and third and nobody out.
It's a late barrel bouncer right down the third baseline there. If you're Nicholas Rimmel, you got to be able to get past this one because you made your pitch. Unfortunately, just bounced the wrong way. I think the most important thing about this play is actually the throw from the left fielder. Helmet gets this ball, and he's kind of got tunnel vision on trying to get the runner going into third base. But really, he had no play. However, if he had thrown this to second, Ramirez would have stayed at first. You would have had first and third. Now you got second and third, nobody out.
Germany willing to concede the tying run. The corner's a little bit tighter here. It's a single for Ramirez, who advances to second on the throw. And Manny's got to be thrilled. Lucas Ramirez now 4 for 10. And his first big taste of international competition. And here's the man of many hours, Leonardo Hejinato, who we've talked about so much throughout this qualifier. A 4 for 9 showing here in Tucson, which bumps his lifetime average in qualifying events to 531. Hejinato got a fat one. He fouls it back, 1-1. Let's get a look at Manny here with Ramirez on the move. Yay!
Hey, he knows that not every hit's going to be the best hit you ever had. Talking about goes in the book as a line drive, right?
Sure, he had a few cheapies in his day. Now a ball and a strike on Hejinato. Chopper to the left side. That'll tie the ball game. Schmidt fields and gets the throw in time. Hejinato with his 4th ribby of the qualifier, and Brazil's got the answer in the home half.
Alex Schmidt making the safe decision there to go across the diamond over to first base. I think if you take a look at this, there could be a possibility of an out at third, but in this situation, I understand getting the secure out, keeping it at a tie game. Had a little bit of throwing issues last game, of course, so not a bad idea to get yourself back in the good swing of things.
And you can even tell with that throw, it's not nearly as firm as he normally sends it across. 2 errors in the first inning the other night against that loaded Colombia squad, which waltzed to a easy qualifying berth by going 3-0. 1 ball and no strikes on Dante Bichette, just 1 for 11, but he does have a double. Rimmel speeds things up and gets a called strike at 89.
Now, Bichette just really hasn't found his groove at the plate. We've seen him just miss a lot of balls, like foul him straight back or pop him straight up. The timing has been pretty good, but the barrel control hasn't quite been there.
Also looks like he's changed his stance. Doesn't really help him there with the fastball getting by. But you can tell he's a lot more compact, a lot more drawn in with a little waggle,
right?
Which he certainly did not have the last few days. The double he hit did come against Germany. Chance to give them the lead, and that will do. Schmidt has to charge, and it gets through the bare hand. Karam the wrong way. It's an infield single, and Dante Bichette Jr. gives Brazil the lead with his first ribby.
Yeah, I don't think Schmidt even had a chance here at Bichette at first, even if he fields this cleanly. It was hit so slowly, and he was playing pretty far back. Still a good effort by Schmidt, and in that situation, it is a full do or die. There was no reason not to try this, because that run is going to score, and that runner is not going to advance any further. So you might as well do everything you can to make this play, and you see that just stayed lower than he expected it to. We've seen some weird hops.
Were you at all surprised that Germany had the infield back there?
No. First inning, try to guarantee an out. Of course, you can't guarantee an out ever in baseball.
Certainly can't guarantee one with this guy. Nobody's had more hits on the German squad than Lucas Hoju. I beg your pardon, the Brazilian squad. Then Lucas Hoju, 5 for 12, 2 doubles, 3 RBIs. And yet he was 0 for 4 against Germany, hitting into a double play and striking out twice.
I think it's going to be fun to watch how both of these managers work with their pitching staff for this game, how they're going to utilize the bullpen. Are they going to go to it early? You know, for a guy like Rimmel who hasn't pitched yet, you got him to pitch this game. And so how long do you let him go if things aren't going well?
And that could be where the 44-year-old managers really have to get into the weeds, because as we talked about, Stephen, Yuichi Matsumoto was really micromanaging these games more than any of his counterparts here.
And doing it well.
Very good job. 1-2. Looped into shallow right center. Oh, what a catch by Baumgart. Throw back to first. Double play. Unreal. He had no business getting to that soft pop-up. Baumgart, like a magician, reels it out of the air, and Bichette can't believe it. He waves the wand right here. Bichette at that point is cooked. And that's one of the best plays of the qualifier to get us to the second. We've seen some beauties here at the Tucson qualifiers, but this one might have stolen the show. Just an unreal play by Simon Baumgart to go back and get it and then send off a great throw to double up Bichette and keep Germany right where they need to be. 2 runs for Brazil in the bottom of the first inning. And now Yannick Walter getting a night off from the field tonight, DHing. His lone hit and run came against Brazil, so maybe this is what he needs to shake off his 1 for 7.
Man, I'm still blown away by that catch. We were talking in the break. I don't think that Simon Baumgart knew he caught that ball just like everybody else. Everybody was surprised because he had turned over the wrong shoulder. And so he had to make a crazy quick adjustment when he saw it over the side of his head. And just an incredibly acrobatic catch.
Not only what it does for him and the team, but what it does for your starter, Nicholas Rimmel, to get that kind of defensive support after being staked to the 1-0 lead and then giving up 2 runs right out of the gate. Both teams with 2 knocks in the first. Here's Walter, and a good spot at 3-1. And there's a walk. So the first 2 innings, the Germans get the leadoff man aboard.
So take a look at this. The way has to go back on this. He's looking to his left. You see it ends up sinking over his right shoulder, and so he's got to fling his glove all the way around. And it took him a moment to realize that, oh, Bichette's off at first. Everybody's yelling at him to throw it over to first base. Took a second, little hesitation, and got it over there. Great play, good awareness, and good help from the team, honestly, to let him know.
And you can't fault Bichette right there because most guys can't make that play. Now here's how they're playing Donald Lutz, knowing that if he's going to pull it, he's going to have to drive it out of here like he did the other day. One of 2 home runs here in the Tucson qualifier, the other one belonging to Jesus Marriaga of Colombia. Big swing by Lutz. It's a ball and a strike.
And with the speed of Lutz, you have that luxury because you don't really need to worry about him necessarily laying out a double on a ball that's in the gap. Really, for a guy like that, you just have to cut it off, and you're going to probably be able to hold him to a single. So you give him that extra room to give your outfielder a little bit more opportunity if that ball is hit deep down the line.
Lutz sat against Colombia on Tuesday night. And so he is rested in a qualifier where he's gone 2 for 4 with the home run, the double, and 4 RBIs. But he's been on base 5 more times with 3 walks and 2 hit by pitch. Keep an eye on the bullpens tonight. Light activity in the Brazil pen out in left field. That one ripped foul. Look out down there at first. Shaving a haircut for the German first base coach.
Everybody's just trying to avoid that one. That's not one that you get in front of and he'll kick up to you. You know, you just avoid that one.
That's their hitting coach, Alex Baham, down there at first. 3-2 now. De Silva, after walking Walter. Wonder if they get Walter on the move. As we saw in the first inning when Brink led off with a single, he was on the go, and the ground ball let them stay out of the double play. Infield back looking for 2, and now a throw back. They got him. And I don't even think Walter got anywhere close to the bag.
No, it looked like he may have been looking away at the very wrong time, right when De Silva started to make his move over to first base. And so you see he takes that big step.
Oh boy.
He was going, and they had the right call there. Unfortunately, you see that first step. With a righty on the mound, you gotta watch that back leg to make sure it's not moving.
And De Silva's fired up as he comes back to strike out Lutz, and the inning completely flips on its head.
It's amazing how quickly that can change, huh? What started out as maybe a dangerous inning with a leadoff runner on first. Now you got bases clear, 2 outs. Things change a lot very quickly. Look how nasty this pitch is. Just a big changeup from De Silva, and the fist pump. He's excited.
75 years of experience between the 2 of them. 39-year-old Thiago De Silva prevailing by getting Lutz to chase out of the zone. Now there's 2 outs, bases clear, the pitch to Arentz. Right there to even things up.
Seeing that consistent use of the changeup from De Silva tonight, not really giving the Germans a chance to get around on that fastball. So they're saying you're going to have to wait back and try to go the other way, and that kind of negates the power.
Pulled right side, base hit. Arentz extends, and that's his first base hit of the qualifier.
And when you've thrown enough off speed, guys can eventually make that adjustment, wait back. But as you see that, even just right off the end, not hit very hard.
And going back to these 2 teams and their mutual 12-2 wins over China, you wonder, knowing that the Chinese pitchers did not throw hard, how good of a tune-up that was for some of these softer throwers in their respective rotations.
Yeah, it's not anything that you've seen recently you're going to have a better beat on than something you haven't seen in a while. So anybody, you know, De Silva pitched against Germany in their first matchup. He faced Alex Schmidt. He walked him. So, I mean, these guys have seen him. So, yeah, anytime you can get a little bit of experience with a velocity, you're going to get more comfortable facing it the next time.
So for Alex Schmidt in this qualifier, 4 walks, 4 RBIs. He had 2 apiece against Brazil. And he was a guy that you and I talked about when we were getting ready for the off day yesterday to see how he would respond from a rough night in the field against Colombia. Da Silva speeds it up, didn't get the call, and now his catcher Carmo just coming out to calm him down, because we know that Thiago can get a little emotional sometimes. Pretty good run right there on that last pitch.
Yeah, I think maybe he just stayed just off the outside corner. I think a pretty good call.
Tying run at first. Schmidt skies one in the air to right. Ramirez very confident in right field. That has to be happy with that one. And the inning comes to an end. Some mistakes on the bases for the Germans. Brazil up 2-1. Germany and Brazil fighting for the last spot in next year's World Baseball Classic. For Germany, it would be their first appearance. It would be Brazil's second, and first since 2013, as we bring you back to Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. Alongside my pal and partner, Stephen Brault, producer Mike Trainer, and the rest of our great crew, Greg Caserta, happy to be with you for the final time. Day 4, Game 7 of this Tucson qualifier. Victor Mascai waiting on the 1-0. And it's up top, 2-0 so far. This is kind of what we saw throughout the early days of this qualifier. The strike zone for home plate umpire Harley Acosta a bit tight in the early going. That one swung on and lifted to left. Helmig running over. Helmig backing up now. Helmig goes for a ride and somehow follows it all the way through in front of the Brazilian bullpen.
I don't know what you're talking about. Look, smooth and easy and confident. Whoa. Ball went in his glove. That's an out. I think we're getting a little bit of wind going back towards the first base side out in right field. So you see this kind of blows back over that shoulder. And once again, a big adjustment having to be made by a German defender all the way back around the other side. That is difficult to do. So it was shaky, but you know what? It's an out.
I was clutching my chest on that one. There was a first pitch strike to Gabriel Carmo, and we always joke it's a hit in the box score. That's a putout for Lou Helmig in left.
F7.
Carmo 1 for 7 in the qualifier. 2 RBIs, 2 strikeouts. That one rolls off the third baseman Brank and into left field. Just a few days ago, we talked about the left side of the German infield, but the last couple of games a bit shaky, and now it's Brank charged with the error.
Yeah, it's been a tough time for that left side of the infield. Yesterday in the first inning for Schmidt, and then here for Brank. Just a play where maybe he didn't get down enough on that ball, and it just ends up squeaking underneath the glove. I do think what we've seen tonight is different than what we had seen before, which is usually those balls kicking up. And now we've seen it twice in this game with Brank and Schmidt both going over the ball. So maybe the ball's staying down a little bit more tonight.
It's the first time that the infield here has not been choppy. There's a bunt attempt by Ito, who pulls back and takes ball one. It was Vitor Ito who ended Tuesday's game against China with that game-winning single, giving Brazil this chance to play for the second and final spot. Throw it back, almost. Now both starters looking to match each other tit for tat with pickoffs.
Both righties trying to pick people off on first base too. Usually that comes down to quickness of the move. And it does look like Carmo over there on first base got a little shaken up.
Ito has had a great qualifier, but it was 0 for 4 against Germany, hit into a double play and struck out twice. So far he's shown bunt pretty early. This time he waits. Runner on the move, pitch slash foul.
Yeah, that count, that's a 1-0 count. Runner on first, 1 out. That's a hit and run all the way. So that was not a stolen base attempt. That was just a good old-fashioned hit and run. Manager Yuichi Matsumoto still sticking with it, micromanaging more than we've seen any of the other managers in this tournament.
Ito's been a mainstay at shortstop for this Brazilian team. This bunt is successful. Rimmel out to get it. And there's the throw that he was looking for. On the sacrifice, Carmo up to second, and Ito continues his strong qualifier after having a tough time in the last few appearances for Brazil.
Yeah, you miss the hit and run, doesn't work out. So what do? You change, you go to the bunt, get that runner in a scoring position.
There's the man pushing all the buttons, the professor, Yuichi Matsumoto. If we show him for 9 innings, he will probably look like that for all 9.
Oh yeah, stoic.
Number 9 hitter Gabriel Maciel with a bunt. And that comes with 2 outs, strike 1.
Yeah, 2 out bunt right now. You're kind of just pushing the baton to the next person, which I don't hate. You can still get yourself onto first base and get a knock. But really in this situation, trying to score that runner from second.
Maciel with one of his 2 RBIs against Germany. Eric Brank doing all sorts of moving at third. This one popped up. Schmidt is back. Schmidt is there, inning over. The error does not come back to haunt the Germans. Brank commits the error, but the top of the order is coming up next. Start of the 3rd inning here on the final day of the Tucson qualifier. Greg Caserta, Stephen Brault, and the rest of our crew happy to be with you as the 3rd inning begins. Both teams scored in the first. And now Eric Brink, who finally got on with a base hit. Led off this game with a single, scored the first run of the night, and then Brazil came back to take the lead. De Silva a lot more composed here tonight than he was in his first couple of appearances. You could just tell that he's had it from the jump.
Oh yeah, and the changeups look great today. There it is right there. Just getting a lot of swing and miss on that pitch.
So what do you think it is? Is it the lack of velocity? Is he disguising it well, or what is it, you think?
Well, we always called that like the pizza pie toss, right? So he kind of gets underneath the changeup and then almost...
Fastball whacked right center field. Maciel sprinting over. He lays out and hauls it in. A little fist pump at the end to take a hit away from Brink.
That was a very nice play. I think that ball ended up not tailing away from him as far as he thought it would. So I don't know if the dive was 100% necessary, but it was a good effort. Look at the route that he took to this ball. I think he ended up being more efficient to it than he thought he was. But anytime that ball is going to be low, down below the waist, knee level, good idea to get down to its level. So you lay out, even though maybe you don't need the distance of the dive, it does make you feel more comfortable watching that all the way in at the level of the ball.
And Brink's got to be just sick to his stomach, thinking he had his second knock. That Brazil dugout on the third base side, if we can get a look at them, they are just living and dying with every pitch that De Silva throws. Helmet grounded out to Bichette.
Oh yeah, there you go. Nice play.
And Brazil loves it after that great stop by Maciel in center field. And not only that, he was positioned perfectly. He was already shaded a few clicks out towards right center. Whoever handles the outfield defense also gets a feather in the cap right there.
That's also the best swing we've seen from Eric Brink. Even his single in the first was not hit particularly hard. That's still a really good sign going forward in this game.
Lifted into left, Gomez charging in, stops, and that one gets through. And now the Brazilians are having issues defensively. He falls down at the end of the play, my goodness. And just like that, Germany's got the tying run at third base.
Okay, so last inning, the Brazilian team unable to take advantage of the error from Brink. Now we'll be able to see if the Brazilian team is going to be able to do the same against Germany. You see this fly ball just up in the air, and we're seeing some weird reads on these fly balls tonight. And I got to tell you, partner, if you look up at the sky, it does seem like it might be a little bit tough. It's in that weird twilight, not fully dark yet, so it's actually a lot easier to lose baseballs now.
Lucas Dunn sends a high fly ball to deep left center. Maciel is back. He's got plenty of room, and Dunn redeems himself after a strikeout in the first with the game-tying sac fly. Germany catches a huge break, and it's 2-2.
Wow, that is the perfect result for what you're hoping for there. Just come up, get a fly ball deep out to center field, and sac fly that. Let's look at Helmet out of the box. Knows tonight's a little uncomfortable. No such thing as an easy base, but he'll take 3 of them right here. Look at the hustle. To get all the way to third on a pop-up to left field shows hustle, commitment. This team is here to win tonight.
You just don't see it anymore, and now Brazil goes to the bullpen with this game tied at 2. A costly error in left field from Gabriel Gomez allows Germany to tie this game at 2-2. The sac fly from Dunn sends Thiago da Silva to the showers, and now Pedro Lemos gets the first call out of the Brazilian bullpen. You and I both a little surprised with the quick turnaround here for the righty.
Yeah, he threw 45 pitches in 2 1/3 innings just 2 days ago. Had the off day yesterday, but we haven't really seen many guys be used in this capacity. That's a lot of pitches to throw 2 days ago, so we'll see if anything's different here.
Right now is manager Yuichi Matsumoto just tasking him to get this final out in the third. The bases are cleared, 2 outs, but he's got to deal with Baumgart, who had the RBI single back in the first. Baumgart 5 for 11. Big swing right there. And it's a ball and a strike from Lemos, the 21-year-old from Santo Andre in Brazil. He was the one who got the start and the win on Tuesday against China, giving up 1 earned run over 2 1/3. And now he comes inside and hits Baumgart, who continues to get on base at a feverish pace.
Baumgart just hard to keep off the base pass in this tournament. He's gotten on in all kinds of ways. He's hit himself on. He's worked some walks. He'll use the bum if he has to. Now on first base. And this could be a big swing, because if Sean Larry, who we've seen have some pop, he hasn't had great success in the tournament, but he's got the pop to do it. This could be a big swing.
Now, here's where I find this interesting, because you nailed it. He did hit a double to drive in a couple of runs against China, but that double went up the left center field alley. Right now, Gabriel Maciel is kind of shifted once again out towards right center. So we'll see what Larry gets and what he responds with. Fastball spotted well, but it's 2-0.
I do love seeing the outfield alignments and the infield alignments during this tournament, because it's not guys you see very often. So you're getting a quick read on these guys and trying to play them accordingly. So with Larry, it makes sense they're kind of cutting off that left field gap.
And now Larry's got himself in a 3-0 count after grounding out to end the first inning. Sean Larry 1 for 8. Can really take his time and be patient here. Somehow this game tied 2-2 right now. But Germany with 2 outs, mounting a little something. The hit by pitch and the walk. And it brings up Yannick Walter, who's got a chance to re-deliver the lead for the Deutschland.
And I think what we've seen so far from Lemos, in my particular point of view, would be that he looks a little bit tired. We've seen multiple balls leak out towards his arm side. Most of the time that means the legs aren't quite all the way there underneath you, and so you're letting that ball go out a little bit early. This is going to be a big at bat.
He had been getting up at one point in the second inning. So it's not like Lemos was completely surprised by the call to the bullpen, but let's put the first 2 on. And now Walter, who walked his first time, can really be selective, because a lot of these pitches from Lemos haven't even been all that close.
No, you can definitely zero in here on a certain pitch. I think if you're Walter, you're not somebody who's going to take here. There's no reason to take if you get a good pitch to hit, but look for a good fastball.
Like that one. And it was Walter, if you remember, who worked the walk to begin the second, but was then picked off by da Silva. He stumbled over himself trying to get back to first and never even came close, a la Willie Mays Hayes. A ball and a strike, 2 on, 2 outs. And the chopper to shortstop right there for Ito. No problems there, inning over. An inning of highs and lows for this Brazilian defense. First, Maciel makes this unbelievable catch in center. But then after that, the inning changes, because Gomez lost it in left. Done with the sac fly, and the tie score is 2-2. The winner goes to the WBC.
These are the decisions you make when you try to be great. Tell me what you gon' do. Pressure on your back, and it's all on you.
Bottom of the third begins. Nicholas Rimmel gets gifted the tying run in the top of the third inning. And we'll see if that settles him in, because he hasn't been clean just yet. There's 5 in the first, 4 in the second, and now Gomez at the top fouls it away for Brazil.
I really like what we've seen from Rimmel so far. I know that first inning started off pretty rocky, but since then it seems like he's settled in. The command has gotten a lot better.
Gomez walked and scored in the first. And now Rimmel, just 25 years old. Steven gave you part of his origin story. Signed by the Twins back in September of 2017. At the time, he was the 5th German player to sign with Minnesota.
I like that stat. You don't hear, I don't know many German guys that got affiliated ball that I ever played with, so it's cool to see the Twins going out getting some German players.
Pours that one in, 3-2. Of course, outfielder Max Kepler, the most notable selection out of Germany, now with the Phillies. 5 years for Rimmel in the Twins organization, got up to high A in 2023 before he got let go. Payoff inside, and Gomez has done his job. 2 walks at the top of the order, bringing his qualifier total to 5.
That was a really good at-bat by Gomez. I don't think that, Rimmel necessarily lost that battle as much as Gomez won it. I thought he made some pretty quality pitches. That was a pitch right there that a lot of times you get a swing on. His guys are very aggressive 3-2, so a great take and a good situation for Ramirez once again.
Another quick pickoff attempt. This is not the guy you want. We see you, Manny. We see you, big guy. That's the first time that Manny's acknowledged us. So somebody finally got a bug in his ear. Hey, Manny, you're on. They're talking about you. Thumbs up.
There's our guy.
I'll tell you what, his son has put on a display. 4 for 10. After his first inning single, he scored the 2nd Brazilian run in a game where both teams have committed an error. Right now, Germany with 1 more hit than Brazil at 3-2. Runner bluffs, and Rimmel darts it down and in. Now, see the pitch count for Rimmel at 35, but remember, this is his first appearance, so in reality, they could let him go up over 85 pitches if they want.
Yeah, I think it all comes down to this performance. I don't think that they're going to try to necessarily push him if he's really struggling, but at the same time, the German pitching staff is set up in a good way today. But if Nicholas Rimmel is doing well, I think they'll keep him in as long as he can go.
Gomez with a short lead at first. Lutz holding him on. And Ramirez down in the count, 1-2. Manny Ramirez, the 13th overall pick by the then Cleveland Indians back in 1991 out of George Washington High School in New York City. 12 All-Star selections, 9 Silver Sluggers.
My goodness.
2 World Series and a World Series MVP. One of the best right-handed hitters of his generation. That one served to short. Schmidt steps into it and gets the double play. Alex Schmidt has turned the corner, and that's a beauty to double up Gomez and Ramirez.
Of course, we talked about his struggles in the first inning yesterday, but I think it's important to point out that we saw later in the game he made a decently nice play at shortstop, and you saw him laughing, having a good time with Simon Baumgart out at second base. Those guys have been together the whole time. That was a really good stretch by Lutz there. Yeah.
On the back end there with Lutz. Now, replay review is available, but the Brazilians let it go by. And now it's Reginaldo, even though he actually grounded out in the first inning, he did drive in a run. 4 ribbies now for the 34-year-old. We told you he plans on playing in Mexico this upcoming year. So Rimmel, despite the walk, has a chance to go 1-2-3 here in the third.
Yeah, executing pitches. And so even though that first walk, I don't think it was a bad walk. I thought it was well executed for the most part, and that paid off against Ramirez.
By the way, Manny Ramirez finished up with a .312 average.
Ooh. Keeping it on. Big stretch for the big man.
Yeah, the veteran gets that call. Donald Lutz only 17 years older than Lucas Ramirez.
Wow.
Reginado, favorite spot, right center field. He's been doing it a long time. And that one splits the gap, getting all the way to the wall. He's just so calm and so consistent. And he's got bunny ears on to bring up Dante Bichette.
I want Leonardo Reginado on every team that I ever played on. He is a solid, consistent hitter at the plate. There's never any panic. Like you said, he's so calm. And look at the little bit of movement. Very consistent in the plate, and the best way to make consistent hard contact is to be as consistent as possible in your mechanics at the plate. You see Reginado, he's got it down. Little celebration.
That is his third double of this qualifier, make him 5 for 11. And again, Rimmel just can't go 1, 2, 3. Bichette had the infield single, which brought in the run. He's late there. And to talk about Leonardo Reginado and how consistent he was across 10 minor league seasons, exactly 800 games played, a career .278 hitter with over 300 RBIs.
It's a nice line.
Give him a job for a long time. He continues to play and play well. And if you're Rimmel, Bichette's been very late on both of those fastballs.
Yeah, I was going to say it's an interesting spot to be in now as a pitcher because your first two pitches, both fastballs, both way late by the hitter. So now do you try to bet he's going to be swinging at the fastball and go with the slider? I think we're going to see another fastball up and in.
Let's see if Brault calls it, and he does. Bichette once again just nudging a piece.
That one was right down the middle.
And he's selling out for it. So now another decision. And the game of cat and mouse here.
You see that one ended up being out over the plate. That was a gift. And Bichette can't take advantage. And now if you're Rimmel, like you said, he reached out to get that fastball. So I think now would be a pretty good time to pull the string.
Rimmel does not have a strikeout yet through 2 2/3. He'd love one here to keep this game tied. The right-hander fires. And there's the slider, but it never broke. It's 1 2.
And I think that's the case of trying to make that really nasty. You see that sometimes from pitchers when they try to go with that wipeout, strikeout slider, and they end up just leaving it way inside. I think if he throws another one, it'll be much better.
They're looking for that clip to be featured by Pitching Ninja.
Right.
1-2, fastball, chopper, back up the middle. It's through. Dante Bichette Jr. comes through. Second ribby. Brazil back in front.
I'm not a huge fan of the pitch call here. It looks like they went with the sinker to try to get it low and in. And I think with what we were seeing from Bichette, you don't want to give him any kind of downward movement other than if you're taking a lot of speed off of it, because that rising fastball was what he was having struggle hitting. You see this one sinks down in, and it just gives Bichette a chance. He doesn't hit it incredibly hard, but I think you just gave him a better chance there than you necessarily had to. And too bad Schmidt couldn't keep that in the infield.
And how many times have we talked about the dirt around home plate here at Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium? If you hit it on the ground, you've got a chance. And Dante Bichette Jr., 2 softly hit balls on 1 and 2, and yet he's got 2 singles and 2 ribbies. Again, Brazil on top. That one's drilled deep left field. Lucas Hoju back at the wall and off the wall. That's a live baseball rolling back towards the infield. It doesn't matter because Hoju's got a ribby and a triple. It hits him on the backside going in. Brazil's going nuts, and it's 4-2.
That was a big swing from not a very big guy. Loud contact. And there's going to be a little debate about whether or not that's a home run. But we know that you got to hit it over that chain link fence on top of the wall for it to be considered a home run. And it looked like that's where it hit, bounced back into the field. So there will be some discussion here about that. But honestly, the swing by Hoju is the story here. What a great job of getting to a pitch and just driving it.
If he
Wind
hits
knocked
that
it down
2 nights ago, it's gone.
Oh, yeah.
Because it had the sound. And now the umpires are going to have a look to see. But based on the ground rules that we were given, I think that hits the fencing. Because if it goes up and hits that blue portion, that roof over there, That is a home run, but I believe it hit the metal fencing just to the left of the 375 marker. Worst case scenario, it's an RBI triple for Lucas Hoju and a 4-2 Brazilian lead. You be the judge at home. That's off metal. I do not believe it hits the blue.
No, that's off that pole there, that post of the chain link fence right in the corner.
And it would be very tough to overturn the initial call, which is a triple and an RBI. Back-to-back knocks with 2 outs.
We are getting an official review here. I don't think that doesn't count as a challenge.
And those guys want a home run. As the umpires come together just in front of the pitching mound. 2 runs in the first, 2 in the third. Lucas Hoju, with that base hit, is 6 for 14 to lead this Brazilian attack.
Yeah, he's really turned it around, especially in these later games. Went 4 for 5 against China on, what day was that? Tuesday. And now here 2 days later finds himself a barrel. But yeah, I got that hitting off the post, which no home run there. But also he got doinked in the head on the throw back into third base. I thought maybe that was going to go awry, but ended up having to stay there at third.
You got to think if that ball ends up in his team's dugout, he scores. Just a mad dash around the bases, and a good job by Team Germany, by the way, to get it in and prevent Hoju from running all the way around.
That was the center fielder, Lucas Dunn, who threw that ball in, because left fielder Lou Helmig was unable to get back to it because it bounced so far away from him. So good backup defense. Let's take a look at Hoju out of the box. He thinks he's got it. And he realizes, I'm going to have to turn on the burners a little bit here. Good turnaround second base, straight into third.
Let's see where it hit him when he goes down. Yep, right off the back of the helmet. And the reaction from Brazil says it all. Great shot right there. And like you said, partner, Lucas Dunn does a good job getting it in. Actually made a strong throw. It was a little bit in front of the bag. And Hoju's got the RBI triple. Germany goes to the pen. We're back right after this. And here's the guy who started the first matchup between these teams. Tommy Sommer threw 3 perfect innings and finished with 3 strikeouts. He comes into a 4-2 game after Nicholas Rimmel made the start. And over 2 2/3, right now 5 hits and 4 earned runs. 3 straight 2-out hits for Brazil to go up 4-2. And here's Victor Mascai, who flied out to left field his last time up.
Yeah, leadoff runner got on in Gomes, and then a nice assisted eventually, but double play by Alex Schmitter in the center of the diamond. And things have gotten a little hairy since then. The double by Hejinato, which was just a pure double. Bichette, chopper up the middle. And then Hoju, man, he put a charge in that ball.
For the first time, the Brazilians have a 2-run lead. Good depth on that last one to even the count. Tommy Somer, 26 years old, out of Columbus, Ohio. Drafted by the White Sox in the 10th round in 2021. Got up to AA Birmingham in 2023. So another guy with affiliated experience, just like the starter, Nicholas Rimmer. That one spiked. It caroms into the netting. An easy wild pitch. And Hoju comes across to make it 5-2.
That one really hurts. It's going to hurt even more if they get the Mascai out right now, because with 2 strikes, trying to be a little bit nastier than you have to be. And he just held on to that one way too long. Spikes it almost in the grass in front of the dirt in front of the home plate. Impossible to block.
Germany trying to drive a wedge into this game, and there's the frustration that you spoke about as Mascai goes down swinging to end the inning. But Lucas Hoju has a motor, and he's got Brazil on its feet after this RBI triple caps off a 3-run third. It's now Brazil up 3 on Germany as we move to the 4th. Brazilian left-hander Oscar Nakaoshi, the second reliever of the night for Team Brazil. His lone appearance came against this German squad. And in his 1 inning, he gave up 1 earned run on 2 hits. He walked 2 and struck out 2. So they got a full bag of what he brings. Pedro Lemos got the final out in the 3rd inning. And after hitting Simon Baumgart and walking Sean Larry, he got Yannick Walter to ground out. So Lemos faced 3 batters, got the out he needed. And now it's 7, 8, and 9 for the Germans, trailing by 3. After these 2 teams met just a couple of days ago, tightest game we had in this qualifier ended up being Brazil 9, Germany 7.
Lutz faced Nakaoshi last time they played each other, struck him out. So definitely a revenge at bat here for Lutz, who did not start against the lefty on Wednesday from Colombia.
The wind and the pitch. Wentz and Schmidt to follow. Germany scored 1 in the 1st. Brazil countered with 2. A scoreless 2nd. And then Germany got 1 in the 3rd before Brazil capitalized on 3 in the home half. Swing and a miss. Bottom drops on Lutz. And he's down swinging for the 2nd time tonight.
Great pitch there. That was nasty.
And this is what they're playing for. Trying to get into the big dance and join Chinese Taipei, Nicaragua, and Colombia. I know that a lot of people are excited for next year's WBC, talking with a couple of my MLB Network colleagues. Ryan Roland Smith is pumped. The big Aussie, Yonder Alonso, already talking smack in preparation for next year. We cannot wait to bring you the WBC. One of these two teams will go. Arentz, lazy pop-up off first. Tough play, but it's the second baseman, Hoju, who's doing it all tonight. 2 quick outs for Nakaoshi here in the 4th.
Yeah, nice play by Hoju calling off Bichette. He has a much better angle to that ball. So anytime you're going back that way, a first baseman's going to give the second baseman, full range if he can get there. Because you look at this angle, he's coming from the side. Bichette's running straight back. Well, we did see Baumgart make a nice play like that. You don't want to have to make that play.
We have not had a 1-2-3 frame yet. Nakaoshi trying to get us there right here. He starts off Schmidt with a first pitch strike. Alex Schmidt flat out to right to end the second. Nakaoshi, the first lefty for Brazil. This should do it. Ground ball to short. Ito stays down. 1-2-3, go the Germans. And we're through 3.5. Brazil up 3 in their quest to go to their second WBC.
Brazil, catcher number 7,
Germany trying to advance to its first World Baseball Classic, and Brazil looking to get to its second. Its lone appearance came back in 2013. As these two teams meet again here at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium. Alongside my pal Stephen Brault, I'm Greg Caserta. And the bottom of the 4th begins with ball 1 from Tommy Sommer, who struck out Victor Mascai to end the 3rd, but he did unload a wild pitch, which brought in the 5th German run. Or the 5th Brazilian run, beg your pardon. Deutschland now staring at a 5-2 game.
And this can get out of hand quickly. This Brazilian team, we've seen their offense has been on fire. Going to be huge for Sommer here to get a few quick outs. Put up a 0 this inning would be really nice, and try to get that German offense back swinging, because we've seen them come back. They're just going to need to do it again here tonight.
The opportunities from the first matchup between these two have not really been there. Love when pitchers do that.
Yeah, I never understood that. They always said, like, don't stop your delivery because
follow through.
It's more dangerous that way.
You're more likely to lock up and pull something. Tommy Sommer was the ace against Brazil a few days ago. Now he's got to be the stopper. And you can tell at different points here he has not been thrilled with the strike zone from Harley Acosta behind the plate.
A little extra tension in this game for everybody involved.
And there's a walk to Carmo, who's on for the 2nd time tonight.
So with Carmo now on first base and Vitor Ito coming up, this is a guy who we've seen bunt, we've seen hit and run, we've seen a lot of different things from him. And Carmo, although a catcher, does run very well. So we'll see if they decide to put anything on here. You see Ito already with the sack bunt tonight.
And he did it with 1 out in the 2nd inning. So let's see what he does here. Lefty on lefty. Sommer comes set. Really checking on Carmo at first. And there it is. Perfectly done by Ito. Not an easy play. Brink throws on the run. Nicely done to whip it over to first in time for the out.
Very smooth play there by Eric Brink. Those are always harder than people give him credit for. Just go ahead and try to make a throw fully on the run the wrong way across your body. Brink running all the way in. Perfectly to Lutz on the run.
I wonder if you and I looked at all 162 regular season games from a year ago and factored in all 30 teams, how many times one player in a single game had 2 sacrifice bunts?
It might not have happened a single time last year.
There's Gabriel Maciel with an RBI chance. Ball 1. The number 9 hitter and the center fielder for Brazil. He popped out to short his first time. Corner's a little bit tighter here for the Germans. Brink at third, Lutz at first. And the outfield playing a few steps on the pull side. This is Tommy Sommer's game right now. He's trying to keep it right here as the Brazilians look to pull away. High set from Sommer. He's paying a lot of attention to Carmo.
He is. I liked the long hold there, actually. You see the way he was able to get him to get his feet stopped by just holding there long enough. Carmo trying to get timed to get that steal of third base.
See how long he holds here. Quicker this time. Chopper to the left side. Brink charges in. And the runner stays put. Another nice play by Eric Brink. Keeping Carmo at second, but the lineup turns over to the top and Gabriel Gomez.
And Gomez 2 walks already today. Definitely somebody you want to keep off the base paths. He's got a lot of speed, but in this situation, all you're worried about is getting this out, keeping that runner on second. Leadoff walks a lot of times come around to score. It's be nice to keep this at second. Huge for Germany as well. And it looks like we're going to have an intentional walk.
So that is the third base on balls for Gabriel Gomez.
Scared of him.
They wanted the lefty-lefty matchup with Lucas Ramirez. He was 1 for 2 with a single and a run. The last time up he hit into that double play. Fortunately for Sommer and the Germans, they only need 1 out here to get it to the 5th. Well, we've seen Ramirez with runners on before. He's had a very quality qualifier. And again, that big number right there, just 19 years old. Runner goes to third. What a jump. Sprayed the other way, and that works out beautifully. Lucas Ramirez comes through again, and the Brazilians keep finding magic with 2 outs as they go up 6-2.
Yeah, that one hurts because if you're paying good attention to that runner on second base, Carmo's not able to get that big jump. And if he doesn't get that big jump, your shortstop's not running to second base to cover for a throw, and that's an easy out. So right there, we always call that controlling the running game. And unfortunately, in that situation, just the perfectly placed, not hit very hard once again, but Brazil's doing whatever they have to do to get the defense of Germany uncomfortable, moving around and taking them out of position. And a great job by Ramirez just getting the bat to the ball.
And what's great is that Manny was pretty muted. Here's Hejinato with a high drive into right center. It's coming down, and Dunn gets over to put it away. But Lucas Ramirez adds a run with a 2-out single. His second base hit gives Brazil a 6-2 lead through 4. Lucas Ramirez wearing his old man's number 24. Manny's 19-year-old son is 2 for 3 with a couple of singles, an RBI, and a run tonight. And as I was saying before, he's a lot more animated tonight because he knows what's at stake for his son and Team Brazil. Eric Brank takes a pitch over the outside corner, and it's Oscar Nakaoshi trying to get us halfway home. Brank has singled and scored. He had a hit taken away his last time up. Gabriel Maciel with a tumbling catch out in right center field. But the time is now for Germany.
This is when you need your team captain to step up in a big spot and get this offense going.
Just trying to chip away at this 6-2 deficit. But again, the opportunities have not been as frequent as what we saw from the first matchup. That 9-7 Brazil win, where Germany scored 3 in the 7th, had 2 in the 8th. They had gotten within a run, and with the bases loaded and 2 outs, with Eric Pardinho all over the place, Alex Schmidt went after the first pitch he saw and ended the rally, and things really changed after that for Germany, and they really have not looked the same since.
It's very true. That did seem to hurt them quite a bit. I think the main thing for that game was, remember back to the first inning where they had the bases loaded, 1 out. They didn't score. They had runners on first and second in the second inning with 1 out, and they didn't score. And so eventually when the offense did break out, it just wasn't enough. Today, they don't have those chances.
Look how happy she is getting that souvenir. She was dancing, big smile on her face. She's adorable.
That's that cool World Baseball Classic Qualifiers special ball, too.
Brank has fouled off the last handful here from Nakaoshi. Germany's final tallies in the first matchup: 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. They stranded 14. And these are the types of at-bats that you referenced, Stephen, where your captain needs to do something, and Brank has fought his way back.
Yeah, he's grinding through this at-bat. It would be great for this German team to see him get on a hard-fought 1 at-bat.
Chopper left side, that's through for a base hit. And Eric Brank has come to life here on the final day of the Tucson qualifier. There's Manolo, a very young Manny Ramirez, who opened eyes right away. He became a hero in Boston, helping end their World Series drought. Then he went to Los Angeles, where he sported the number 99, and that's really where Manny being Manny took off. And it's continued. And by my estimation, the greatest right-handed 2-strike hitter I have ever seen in my life. So scary, no matter where he bat, but he and Ortiz, 3 and 4. As dangerous as any duo ever. This one, Scott, a mile high by Lou Helmig. We'll see who wants it. Maciel takes charge and puts it away.
In 1991, he was drafted by Cleveland. I'd love the 12-time All-Star and the 9-time Silver Slugger. I think that, like, it shows he was consistently good for a very long time. 555 home runs. Goodness gracious.
A career 996 OPS.
Wow.
Over 1,500 runs, 2,500 hits, and 1,800 ribbies.
And always a man of the people.
That lady was on the cleaning crew up here. She came in our booth before, and Manny kind enough to sign an autograph for her. Wonder how many of those he's dished out in his day.
Probably quite a few. I'd say more than 5, definitely.
Lucas Dunn had a sac fly in the 3rd. He struck out in the 1st. Nakaoshi, she got multiple baseballs, so hopefully she can give those out as souvenirs.
You always got to be prepared.
And we got asked to sign a couple of baseballs. One of the most nerve-wracking things I've had to do since I've been out here.
I thought you did great.
Thank you. Pitch home, cracked into right. Lucas near the wall, reaches out, and he made the catch.
Wow.
We get shielded down there, but the good news is that first base umpire Tanner Moore was able to help us out by making the signal. And so far, Lucas Ramirez has done everything right. The only thing now, we just got to get him a hat that fits.
I mean, look at that, the way he played that up against the wall. Obviously, you're scared of running into that wall full speed. There, he was able to kind of drift towards it because they had him playing pretty close to that right field line. Nice play there.
2 outs after the leadoff single by Brink. And a ball to Simon Baumgart, the one guy that Brazil just hasn't been able to figure out. But then again, who has in this qualifier? An RBI single in the first, a hit by pitch in the third. Overall, he's 5 for 11. This one cracked into right center, and that one's down. Good bluff by Maciel, but the runner Brink was on the move with contact. He goes to third. Simon Baumgart on once again. He's a perfect 2 for 2.
Yeah, I like the deke as well, but as an outfielder, you can also kind of realize the situation there. With 2 outs, Brink off the bat is taking off. He's not really even paying attention if you catch that ball. He's just looking at his third base coach. But either way, nice swing there for Baumgart. He's just impossible to get out in these big situations. Even there, not necessarily crushed right off the end of the bat. And there's the deke there. Usually you're going to see that used more in a sac fly situation or whenever you want to reduce the guy going first to third. Good base running by Brink, not paying attention.
Brazilian pitching coach Andre Rienzo out to slow down Oscar Nakaoshi and give his bullpen a little bit more time just in case. Right now it's just a let's go and get him conversation because they're trying to get Sean Larry.
I love seeing Andre Rienzo in the bigs. It's funny because it feels like it was longer ago that he was playing, but it was very recently, 2015, when he was playing with the Marlins. You see him here with the Twins. Some nasty stuff. Being a pitcher at any time in baseball, I mean, it's obviously you get to the highest level. It's those guys are good, man. It is really hard to get major league hitters out, and he's definitely an invaluable resource for this young Brazilian pitching staff.
Germany has countered here with Finn Bergman batting in place of Sean Larry. So Bergman will go to right field. You get the righty up against the lefty. And now Germany trying some maneuvering to keep up with that of Brazil. Again, we have talked about all of the button pushing that Yuichi Matsumoto has done from that Brazilian dugout. And Germany trying to match wits right here and at least just get one back and try and eat into this 4-run deficit. And Bergman takes a letter high strike. Larry finished up 0 for 1 with a walk and a ground out. But it's Bergman here, 0 for 5 in this qualifier, but he does have an RBI and 3 walks.
Good
Takes
pitch.
another. Probably the best fastball that Nakahashi's thrown.
Yeah, after that fastball up and away at the top of the zone, he brings it all the way back into that inside corner, and Bergman thinks that's a ball the whole way, sneaks back onto that inside corner. Great pitch.
Brink at third, Baumgart at first. A slow roller right to Bichette, who steps on first to take care of business. Halfway home in Tucson, Brazil leading Germany 6-2.
trainer, he just screams at you.
Nick Wittgren gets the call from Germany's bullpen. He comes out here in the 5th inning, just trying to keep Brazil at bay. Tommy Somer went an inning and a third. He gave up an earned run, 1 hit, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. And now it's Nick Wittgren, the 33-year-old out of Torrance, California, a veteran of 8 major league seasons from 2016 to 2023. The Marlins, the Guardians, the Cardinals, the Royals, over 400 or close to 400 appearances. Got an even 4 ERA, originally drafted in the 9th round by the Marlins. That nasty back foot slider as a member of the Royals. Exactly 300 strikeouts over his big league career. And now he's on to pitch the 5th, starting with Dante Bichette Jr. Wittgren's got him with strike 1. Bichette, again, not necessarily pretty, but 2 RBI singles and a run after starting this qualifier 1-for-11. That one slammed over first, inside outed, and just like that, Dante Bichette Jr. writes this chapter. He is 3 for 3 on a day where Brazil is trying to get back to the WBC.
Yeah, coming through clutch in any way possible. None of these balls, like you said, hit very well. That's another one. He got jammed by the sinker of Wittgren, but just does enough to get it fisted out to right field. Hey, you'll take whatever you can get, especially in a game like this, winner take all. Any knock is just as good as any other.
Wittgren came on to work the 9th inning against Brazil in their first matchup. At the time, it was an 8-7 game, but he gave up a run, walked 2, a couple of strikeouts, and then 9-7 ended up being the final. Because Eric Pardinho came in, and after a really rough 8th inning, ended up going 3 up and 3 down in the 9th.
And I think there's an interesting aspect of this pitching change here. He was the 9th inning guy because he is their most experienced.
There was a bunt popped foul by Hoju.
Most experienced, highest level, accomplished pitcher that they have on that staff. So he was in the 9th. But today, in this elimination game, you got to shut down the Brazilian offense right now. So although it's the 5th, this is currently the highest leverage situation you're going to deal with. And you want Wittgren to go out there and give you a 0 to keep this offense still in striking distance. Although Grand Slam is not easy, 4 is possible.
And I got to tell you, I would hate to play poker against Yuichi Matsumoto because you just don't know what cards he's holding at any time. Hoju's been their best hitter, and he has shown bunt already in this at-bat. Rank creeping in at 3rd. Hoju swinging that time, and he got a good one. It's now 1-2.
Yeah, it almost seems like that bunt at first was intentional to make him give him a good pitch to hit. Right there, he did. Nick Wittgren with the fastball just high enough at the letters of Hoju.
Wittgren last season, 35 appearances for the Twins AAA affiliate in St. Paul. Had a pair of saves for the Saints. Now he's trying to be Germany's savior. 1-2. Broken bat roller to first. Lutz has it. He's got time. Fires to second one. And then a soft toss back to first. No chance to get Hoju on the force.
Not an easy play there for the first baseman Lutz, but that double clutch is the reason they didn't get the double play there. The throw down to second base, he couldn't quite get the ball out of his glove immediately. So good on him for taking his time, making sure he makes a good throw down to second. But look at this hesitation right here. You see that? That is all it takes. That makes all the difference in whether you get that double play or not. Nice play. You got to stay down. It's going to be a weird hop. And then there's just the double clutch.
You know, we had time with Bichette running first to second.
Right.
So a good job, too, by Lutz to step out to the grass and give himself a lane to throw. Victor Mascai, the batter. He's 0 for 2. Strikeout, a fly out to left. And a swing and a pop into left. Lou Helmig back to make the catch. He's in left, one change in right field. Sean Larry out, Finn Bergman in. No other defensive changes for the Deutschland. But they need to start coming up with something because They got 5 hits and only 2 runs to show.
Yeah, the offense really has to start stepping it up because the pitching staff is, I think they're going to figure it out. This is a time when they got to give themselves a chance to win this game, and it starts right here with Whitgren before you worry about the offense.
Pitch to Carmo, fouled away. Gabriel Carmo doing the catching tonight for the Brazilians. Reached on the error by Brank in the second. Worked a walk and scored a run on Lucas Ramirez's 2-out single in the fourth. That's why Brazil has a 6-2 lead. Germany grabbed a 1-0 lead in the top of the first, but that's really been it. Good spot from Whitgren. It's 0-2.
I know this is a difficult spot for a pitcher like Whitgren, who's used to being in those late innings.
When Whitgren was with the Guardians, he pitched in Game 2 of the 2020 wild card against the Yankees when there were no fans in attendance. If you remember, we showed you a clip from that series the other night. Gio Urshela hitting a grand slam off James Karinchak. We saw Gio playing third base for Team Colombia. And Whitgren had a great appearance. Inning and a third, struck out 3. Holding that high set a long time now. The runner Hoju leaning at first. He bluffs, and the pitch is up high.
Hoju over there, still trying to time out that delivery to home by Whitgren. Whitgren is not terribly quick to the plate.
What's really interesting to me, Steven, is that for all the small ball that Brazil's played, they still don't have a stolen base.
Yeah, we've seen them take off multiple times this game. Definite hit and run for Ito that he fouled off, and then when Lucas Ramirez was up, of course, runner took off from first base, which gave him that base hit.
Reached out and fanned to second. Baumgart there to take care of Carmo and end the inning. 1 man left for the Brazilians. We head to the 6th on a gorgeous night here in Tucson. Oscar Nakaoshi has done a really nice job pitching in long relief for Team Brazil. So far, he's through 2 innings. He's given up just 2 hits and has a strikeout. Left 2 at the corners in the 5th inning. Now he starts the 6th, facing 6, 7, and 8 for the Germans. Assuming no changes, it'll be Walter Lutz and Arentz. Those Brazilian fans watching and waiting, hoping that their country can get back to the WBC for the first time since 2013. Brazil came into this qualifier number 23 in the world, 6 spots lower than Germany. As Walter pops one up off first, Bichette gives it a look out of play.
And Germany already 6 runners left on base in this game, that was their main problem last game. Left so many runners on base against Brazil. You see some of the contingent from Team Brazil there. They have been getting fired up. Rightfully so. Brazil's been playing really well these last few games.
Walter has walked and grounded out. 1-2 from Nakaoshi. He's got nobody up behind him in that Brazilian bullpen. I think he got the changeup in on Walter.
Yeah, the accidental front door change. Yeah, that would happen every now and then.
When those leak, that's when problems start.
Yeah, that goes really far. As long as you miss enough that it's not in the middle of the plate, you'll be fine.
Outfield sprayed out the other way towards right. Good take by Walter to make it 2-2. This year, Oscar Nakaoshi, 33 years old, out of Sao Paulo, Brazil, appeared in 11 games in the Australian Baseball League. At an ERA of 1.23. Swinging a tapper up the grass at third. Tough play for Hejinato. Charges, throws on the run. Got the out. What a play. And we'll see if Germany wants a look. Hejinato can do a whole lot more than just hit for Brazil.
I mean, that was a great play. The smoothness by Hejinato to get it out of his glove so quickly and get it over to first base. Looks like we're still waiting if they're going to challenge. No, Germany will not.
And the hop right there is what helped him because that ball came up.
Oh, yeah.
Good stretch by Bichette.
Wow. I don't know. It's about as close as it gets.
Donald Lutz swinging through while the music was still blaring. And if there was ever a time for a guy to go up there and think home run, it could be right now if you're Donald Lutz. I know he has not looked good against left-handed pitching, but Germany needs something. And so far tonight, Lutz has come up blank with a couple of Ks. One in the second, one in the fourth. Now he's up here in the sixth.
Yeah, something to get this offense excited about. That's what Germany needs right now. And even if that's just a hard line drive base hit, honestly, that would be just as good. Because the lead is 4. You need base runners anyway. The kind of solid contact that gets everybody feeling good. That loud bang.
Nakaoshi knows exactly what this feeling is like because in the 2013 WBC qualifiers, he started against Colombia and threw 4 shutout innings in a 7-1 win. Right there, 2-2. He did pick up the loss against Japan in the main tournament, coming on in relief of a 5-3 setback, but then 3 days after that loss to Japan, he threw 4 shutout against China. Brazil would end up losing that game late 5-2. Lutz with a soft tapper to second. Hoju right there. 2 gone in the 6th.
And Nakaoshi just looks good. Looks controlled. Definitely knows the strike zone and where he has to be to get that weak contact. From both sides of the plate, using all of his pitches. It's hard to really get to a pitcher when he's able to consistently execute.
And he's one of those interesting stories where after stopping pitching in the minors in 2018 in Japan, he didn't pitch again professionally until 2022. So there was a 4-year layoff. And yet here he is once again pitching on a grand stage for Brazil. And he's just humming it. Strike 1 on Arentz.
Yeah, painting the corner there again on the outside part of the plate. Now we'll see if he tries to go back in.
So when you look at the offensive distribution for Brazil, 5 hits, all singles, 2 for Brank, 2 for Baumgart, and 1 for Arentz, which came back in the second. Other than that, they have been getting beat by Brazil in almost every way. Nakaoshi hit his mark, but it's 2-1.
Good pitch right there. Open up the off-speed stuff. Saw that fastball away. Now you've seen the fastball in.
Germany went 1-2 in the last WBC qualifiers and did not reach the main tourney. They hosted in Regensburg as the number 18 team in the world, beating South Africa in their first game 11-5 and then losing to both Great Britain and the Czech Republic, who advanced. So coming into this one, they were 3-6 in their last 3 qualifying events. Ground ball pulled to third. Hejinato's there, stays upright, throws, and gets the out. And the infield defense improving steadily here for Brazil. A couple of plays over at the high corner for Leonardo Hejinato. And Brazil stays hot, taking a 6-2 lead over Germany into the home half. Bottom of the 6th inning here at Keno Veterans Memorial Stadium in Tucson. We get close to the end of this 7 games in 4 days Tucson qualifier for next year's WBC. And why not, Vitor Ito? You've already laid down a couple of sack bunts in the 2nd and the 4th. Now you're up here in the 6th. And I think this qualifying event will help Vitor Ito get more followers on social media because he's a budding star. And how about this? Trying for a bunt single, showing off his wheels and beating the throw. Heck of a play by Baumgard, but Ito sneaky fast. It's a leadoff single here in the 6th.
Talk about small ball. Gets 2 sack bunts earlier in the game. In his 3rd at bat, he comes up. Eric Brink is playing about as close as you can possibly play as a 3rd baseman, but the perfect drag bunt. Once you get that past the pitcher and the 2nd baseman has to come make that play, you've given yourself a really good chance. That's why you see him take that bat with him. He wants to bunt it that hard. That's intentional. It's not supposed to be slow and stop in front of home plate. That's a full-on push drag bunt. Really well executed there by Ito.
He came into this qualifying event with almost 16,000 Instagram followers and over 2,000 YouTube subscribers. Another bunt. This time Whitgren gets off the throw, and Maciel's out on a sacrifice. The 3rd sacrifice bunt for the Brazilians here tonight.
Manager Yuichi Matsumoto definitely has a game plan here. Now that they're ahead especially, every single at bat matters. Anytime you can move that runner, get him closer to scoring position, it's a good place to be.
2 sack bunts from Ito, who led off this inning with the bunt single, and now Maciel, who was previously 0 for 2, getting him into scoring position. Here at the top, it's Gomez, who's walked all 3 times and scored. That run came back in the 1st inning. It allowed Brazil to score the tying run at the time after Germany struck in the top of the 1st. An RBI single from Simon Baumgard, but that seems like a long time ago for Team Germany.
Yeah, this game started off much differently. You remember, Germany scored first, and then Brazil came back and took the lead, and then Germany tied it up. But as soon as Germany tied it up, then Brazil comes out, gets 3 in the 3rd to take that 3-run lead. Now it's been extended to a 4-run lead. But Brazil, you know, we talk about the shutdown inning, and Germany twice tonight scores a run in the top half, and then in the bottom half of that inning gave up multiple runs. That's hard to come back from.
Yuichi Matsumoto, 44 years old, born in Sao Paulo in 1980. Look out. German dugout just got a wake-up call. Ended up signing with the Tokyo Yakult Swallows in 1999, played 14 seasons there. in Nippon Professional Baseball, hitting a career .263. And let's not forget, he helped Brazil qualify for the 2013 WBC. He was 2 for 11 across their 3 games as their first baseman. Now here's where it gets really interesting for Matsumoto. First a chopper to short. Schmidt is there to glove high and get off a strong throw to retire Gomez for the first time. So his 2 hits came against Cuba. One of those came off of current Braves closer Raisel Iglesias.
Wow, that's a good one. Raisel was nasty, man. He's gross. I just love seeing the way that Matsumoto has managed this tournament. It's been a lot of fun to watch. He has done things a little bit differently than we've come to expect in today's baseball, realizing that the Brazilian team, while having good, solid hitters, is not built on power. He's done everything they can to make it so that a single scores a run. You don't need to hit the big double in the gap. When they come, that's great. But if you're constantly putting your players in positions with runners in scoring position, eventually they're going to come through. And we've seen that the last few days for Brazil.
And if we can show him again, we promised you that he would not change his stance or his demeanor.
There he is.
Top step, arms folded. You don't know what he's thinking right now.
Pondering.
That's a dangerous place to be, because he's got so many things going on in his head, so many buttons that he needs to push. Doesn't have anybody up in the bullpen behind Oscar Nakaoshi. Manny hoping that his son Lucas can come through once again. Lucas with a couple of singles, an RBI, and a run. 5 for 11 for the 19-year-old Lucas Ramirez. Again, we told you about this a couple of days ago when we saw him for the first time. His mother Juliana is from Brazil. Tapper hits softly to second. Baumgart back. Throws to first. Gets Ramirez hustling up the line. And now we go to the 7th. Germany running out of time.
So Colombia secures their path to the World Baseball Classic in 2026, and they did it on the back of their offense. 360 average as a team, an OPS over 1. You look at that run differential, plus 22. Well, guess what? That's because they only gave up 1 run, and it was unearned. 3-0, 25 innings, 27 strikeouts to 5 walks. They were fantastic on both sides of the ball. They came in as the favorites, and they walk out the heavy, heavy favorites. They were the best team in this tournament, and they showed it.
And isn't it funny, partner, when we were getting ready for this about a week before, we learned that Jose Quintana was dropping out because he was close to signing with a new team. It ultimately ended up being a 1-year deal with the Brewers. And then they lost to Bill Krismat, who stuck around in spring training. And we thought, well, who's going to pitch? Who's going to carry the load? It turns out just about everybody.
The whole team. They gave up 1 run, and it was unearned over their 3 games. That's just not something you see in these kinds of tournaments. To have so many pitchers throw and all of them be successful, not to have any blow-ups the entire 3 games, is very impressive.
And a guy who could slot in just about anywhere right now, the way he's throwing, is Oscar Nakaoshi, who just threw his 50th pitch, trying to get Alex Schmidt here to begin the 6th, now 7th, his 4th inning of relief. Schmidt fighting and hanging around, still 0-2. So far tonight, he's grounded out to short and flied to right.
And Germany's running out of time here. This is the 7th inning. You're down 4. You got a guy in there you've seen a few times. It is time to get that offense going. But Nakaoshi just looks calm and collected.
Schmidt smacks it into center, and there it is. That's down for a base hit. Maciel cuts it off, holding Schmidt to a single. How many times have we seen Gabriel Maciel do something special in center field?
He looks fantastic out there, able to run this down. Off the bat, he actually thinks he's got a chance at catching this in the air, you could tell, and then makes the adjustment, very smartly realizes, oh, I'm not going to be able to get this in the air, so I'm going to change my route here. Watch this, going straight sideways, then he turns up the field. You see that right there? And he's able to knock that off, keep it from going all the way to the wall, keep Schmidt to a single.
That's turned on. Nobody's getting to this one. Gomez has to retrieve it off the bottom of the wall. Eric Brank's coming out party continues, and now Schmidt coming to the plate. He's in there. And Germany finally showing signs of life. Eric Brank leading the charge. It's an RBI double, and it's now 6-3.
I mean, what a story it would be if Eric Brank ends up being the MVP of this game. If Germany comes back, already 3 hits for Brank. There's an RBI double for him. That ball was scorched out to left field. Take a look at this. Down the middle, Brank, nice, calm and collected, able to get the barrel to it. Hard line drive out to left. Good swing there by Brank.
And you could see him yelling towards the dugout as he was making his wide turn around first. Schmidt coming home, nearly out of gas, but just enough power to come across. Brank watching, a great shot right there. And for the first time, Germany, since the first inning, is right back in business. Eric Brank, 3 knocks, an RBI double. And now the bullpen phone for Brazil is buzzing. Mario Gouveia was warming up, and now he's getting real hot.
Yeah, you got to start getting right now. This German team definitely feeling it. Momentum swinging back the other way. Leadoff single in the 9th spot by Schmidt, and then Brank says double. And look at Lou Helmig back here laying all the way down on the ground saying, get down, Schmitty, get down. That's what you got to do. You got to let your guy know, hey, where to slide. So it's actually good baseball. Just really fun to watch.
Helmig is 0 for 3, no batting gloves, trying to tough this thing out and get Brank in from second. Back-to-back hits off Nakaoshi to begin his 4th inning of relief. And as the pitch count climbs, the fatigue and the nerves and the pressure only ratchets up on Brazilian's left-hander. Ball and a strike on Helmig.
Helmig here in this spot right now. You got that runner on second. You're down 3 now, and so you're still trying to get a rally going. You want to get this ball over to the right side so that no matter what, you advance him to third. We'll see how Helmig's able to hook it here.
Aginato in at third, right side back. Great changeup to split up Helmig. It's 1-2. You see Hoju there, the second baseman playing on the fringe. The first baseman, Bichette, protecting that line. And with 2 strikes, Aginato backing off, thinking that the bunt will no longer be in play here for Helmig. Outfield pretty much straight up. And Nakaoshi looking for his 2nd strikeout. And instead, it's a look back to second to check on Brank following the ribby double. Lou Helmig now 2 for 15 in this qualifier. Did drive in a run in the first meeting against Brazil. And a good take to even things up, 2-2.
This German team we've seen has been hard to get out when it comes to being outside the zone. If you want to get these guys out, you got to come in the zone. Nakaoshi, the last few innings, has been able to do just that, get outs in the zone. Now Germany looking like they're starting to turn things around.
We're back to second, but Brank on top of it to get in before the throw.
So we tried an inside move. That was the first one. Then we tried the daylight move. That's what we call that one. You wait for the catcher to give you the sign. Shoots the glove down. Shortstop's breaking already, but of course at second base, Eric Brank, the veteran, ready for that one.
Gabriel Carmo's done a good job calling this game tonight behind the plate for Brazil. Big pitch here from Nakaoshi. Rolled over right side, and that's exactly what Brault wanted. Bichette with the underhand flip, and Nakaoshi touches up before Brink can make his move at third. Helmick retired, but he gets the runner to third.
Yeah, that's exactly what you're looking for right there out of your two-hitter. Lefty-lefty, it's going to be a tough battle for him anyway. But a great job of getting that runner over to third.
And now a call to the bullpen from Yuichi Matsumoto. Murillo Gouveia on his way in for Brazil. Eric Brink has arrived when Deutschland has needed him most. It started with a single in the first. Here he thought he had something, but Gabriel Maciel took extra bases away. And since then, a single through the left side in the fifth. And just a moment ago, he went big game hunting and ambushed the first pitch from Oscar Nakaoshi. It was an RBI double. And now he's standing at third after Helmick grounded out to the right side to get him over. So Nakaoshi, 3 1/3. 4 hits, 1 earned run. Hands it off to the new right-hander, Murillo Gouveia, who's making his first appearance partner since Sunday against Colombia.
And it didn't go too well. He gave up a run in an inning and a third, but he walked 3.
Check swing roller out towards short. That gets the run home. Ito's got it, throws on the run. Nice play to get the out. Dunn, however, drives in his second run, and Germany gets to it in 2.
That's how you do it, right? You get a runner on second base. You get him over with the weak ground ball to first. You get him in with the weak ground ball to short. That's just good, solid, fundamental baseball right there. With the infield playing back, you know you don't have to try to do too much. Obviously, Lucas Dunn would like to do better than a chopper to short, but take the RBI.
Right back to the mound. Baumgart is done and retired for the first time, so Gouveia throws 2 pitches and sends us to the stretch in a 2-run game. for Team Brazil. He is due up after Leonardo Reginado here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Bichette came into this final game 1 for 11, but tonight he's a perfect 3 for 3 with 2 ribbies and a run. Reginado, of course, has contributed with an RBI ground out in the first, a double and a run in the third, and now Nick Whitgren embarking on his 3rd inning of relief, trying to get Germany up in the 8th inning and keep it at a 2-run game.
So this is the situation that Germany's run into a few times this game. We were talking about earlier, those shutdown innings so important for keeping momentum on your side. So Germany down 4. They score 2 in the top of the 7th, bring that within 2, and that's great. The last time these teams played, Brazil just kept on tacking on more runs at the end of the game. So now Whitgren really needs a big 0 here, get that offense back on the field.
2-2 on Reginado. Nick Whitgren really not a multi-inning reliever in the majors. Ooh, that was interesting. A little quick pitch.
I think the catcher was asking for time right before Whitgren threw that pitch. There may have been a little miscommunication about what to throw. So a gift there for Reginado, and he doesn't need those.
Perfectly said. 3-2 now. And it's skied out to center field. Dunn waits and takes care of Reginado. He flies out to center a 2nd time, and this could have gone really south had Whitgren not taken care of Reginado right here.
And you see catcher Rentz saying, wait, no, I don't know what you're going to throw. And then Whitgren definitely did the right thing in taking the velo off and just throwing a ball there.
But can he get Bichette? Because nobody else has been able to. Singles in the 1st, the 3rd, the 5th, and now he's up in the 7th. Oh boy, Dante swinging out of his cleats on that first pitch.
You know, it seems like at this point he's pretty aware that they're going to be throwing him fastballs. Comes out looking for a fastball first pitch and takes about as big of a swing as you can take. And once again, underneath it, taps it straight back. And he's had a hard time getting the barrel straight through the ball. We've seen a lot of ground balls and pop-ups.
And you can hear Whitgren screaming from the mound. 0-2.
Yeah, I don't think Whitgren necessarily loved that swing on the first pitch. And there comes back with the fastball, paints it on the corner.
Would that bug you?
Nah, you might as well throw another one.
A little hesitation in the windup, a swing and a tapper out to short. Schmidt is there, a whole lot more comfortable than he was the other night, and Bichette's retired for the first time tonight.
I do think it's interesting to note that even with that big swing and with what we've seen before, as you see Schmidt definitely looking, as you said, more comfortable. But I thought he was looking more comfortable at the end of the last game. But now smooth all the way through it. Bichette finally goes down. Whitgren needs to get this 3rd out here and get the Germany offense back up.
Lucas Hoju, the batter, had that RBI triple and a run on that mad dash in the 3rd inning. Whitgren nice and easy slides one in for a strike. Now, the last time, and I believe the only time, that Nick Whitgren worked 3 innings in a major league game was his 2nd season in the bigs back in 2017. Swing and a miss, 0-2. That was April 13th when the Miami Marlins hosted the New York Mets. He threw 3 innings, didn't allow a hit, and struck out 3. Big swing. And Hoju's still in there at 0-2.
A little bit of a quick pitch there from Whitgren. Try to catch Hoju off guard.
That was an extra inning loss for the Marlins. That game ended in 15 innings. Back before the extra inning rules to speed things up. 0-2. Swing and a miss. Nick Whitgren picks up a strikeout. That's his first one. And Germany will come up in the 8th, down 2. This is Deutschland's fourth straight appearance in a WBC qualifier. Their best showing came in their first one in 2013 when, like this one, they were ranked number 17 in the world. This one smoked into left field. Finn Bergman denied by Gabriel Gomez. One pitch and one away. And in a two-run ball game, every little bit helps with Gomez stealing out number one.
I mean, that ball was spanked. It was perfectly on the barrel. You can't really wish for much more than that. Just top spun it enough that instead of going over the outfielder's head, sinks right into his chest.
Ground ball hit over the mound, up the middle. Walter trying to leg it out. The throw in time by Ito. Two bang-bang plays from this Brazilian defense. And they're getting closer now, 4 outs away.
Doing it on the back of their defense right now. Nice to see Ito make a really good play up the middle, sliding to his left, back behind second base. And you see how quickly he's able to get up. And luckily, Hoju gets out of the way because he's standing right there. Ito has to pretend that he's not there. And a good job by Hoju getting out of the way, but an awesome play there by Ito. He's a great game.
2 sparkling plays from the left side. One from the left fielder and one from the shortstop. Coming in stage right, sliding across, and Bichette with the stretch, showing the baseball for the out.
I just love how quick the release was. You see that left foot he catches, and then he throws that across, and look, Bichette able to stretch up the line. Good job staying on the bag.
Now it's Donald Lutz, 0 for 3 with a couple of strikeouts, trying to bring up the tying run. But that's not going to do it, 2-2.
Big swing. We've seen Lutz be susceptible to the off speed. That home run he hit was on a fastball.
Gouveia needed only 3 pitches to get 2 outs in the 7th. This will be pitch number 7 here in the 8th. A trip to the WBC on the line. And a good job by Lutz. And we'll now see a 3-2.
Good pitch by Gouveia, gets that to the back foot. A better take by Lutz. The veteran looking to get this offense jump started again. Only 4 outs left to play with.
Huge spot, huge pitch, and this one cracked into center. Germany just unlucky. That's right on a line for Gabriel Maciel. This inning could have turned out a whole lot differently, but Brazil's defense is the difference maker as we go to the bottom of the 8th. You see where we are in this winner-take-all Game 7 in the Tucson qualifiers. Swinging a grounder to first, backhanded by Lutz, gets to first, and takes care of Mascai on the first pitch. That is now 10 of 12, set down by Nick Whitgren, who is an unsung hero in this game for Germany.
It has been, he's been the whole reason they're still in this game. You think about back to the beginning, 4th inning, 1 run comes across for Brazil. Since then, 3 big fat zeros. You know, Wittgren wants to have another one of those, give his team a chance. Down 2 in the 9th. I mean, we saw last inning, Germany's feeling good at the plate. It just didn't work out for him.
Gabriel Carmo shows bunt, pulls back and takes a strike. And now if you're looking ahead to the 9th inning for Germany, it'll be 8-9-1. Arentz, Schmidt, and Brank, with Eric Pardinho fresh off a 2-inning save against this German squad, playing catch in the Brazilian bullpen. Carmo overmatched, it's 0-2.
Wittgren's just looked so good. I mean, polished. We're just seeing a very veteran pitcher attack the zone in so many different ways. He's painting that fastball on the outside corner, the slider playing off of it really well.
And that strikeout of Hoju to end the 7th, his first and only the 2nd of the night across 3 German pitchers. On the other way, base hit by Carmo on 0-2.
I feel like I jinxed that because, of course, right after I say that, he throws the one hung fastball we've really seen him throw. And I always think it's funny. People always talk about curveballs being hung, but they don't really mention you can hang fastballs too. As you take a look at Pardinho getting ready, this one right up at the letters. A great swing by Carmo just to slap that out in the right field. Go with it, 2-strike count.
Arentz wanted it away. Wittgren did not put it where he asked. And it's Vitor Ito. And you know that a bunt is coming.
Yeah.
Sacrifices in the 2nd and the 4th. Last time he pushed one out past the mound towards second base and slid in head first with a bunt single. His first sacrifice bunt came with 1 out, so no stranger to that. There he goes again, and I thought it might have caught the plate, or at least him on the way out. Either way, it's picked up foul by the catcher Arentz.
Wittgren trying to plead his case there that it hit the foot of Ito when he was running out of the box. Did look a little strange. Let's see if we can see anything here.
It rattled around.
Ito still in the box.
Yep, hit him on the elbow on his way out.
So yeah, he's still in the box there.
It is amazing when we show that replay that he still does his toe tap.
Right.
And it doesn't affect his timing at all.
I think you're going to see him bunt again here. I'd be surprised if he doesn't.
He's a magician with that one. Nice job by Brank to get it over. Everybody covering third base now. Yeah. With Carmo up to 2nd and 2 away.
Okay, so when was the last time you saw somebody have 3 sack bunts in a game? That might have not happened for 10 years.
I don't know, the dead ball era maybe?
Yeah.
Vitor Ito with 3 successful sacrifice bunts and a bunt single. 5 for 13 in the qualifier. And we saw Brazil do something similar in the first matchup between these 2 teams. It was an 8-7 ball game. They then tacked on a run in the top of the 9th to go up 9-7. Ended up winning by that final. Tonight again, they are separated by 2. And it's Maciel who's 0 for 2 with a sack bunt himself. 4 in total at the bottom of the Brazilian lineup. And he goes after the first one, chucking it foul. So again, Pardinho getting ready for the 9th inning. He will face 8-9-1 Arentz, Schmidt, and Brank. He took care of the top of the order when he got the save the other day. 0-2 from Wittgren.
I think it's just amazing to see 4 sacrifice bunts here in this game. I mean, 3 of them coming from 1 player, which is just insane. But in general, just the way Matsumoto has managed this game, once again, playing it differently than the other managers here at the tournament. It's worked out for Brazil pretty well so far.
Wittgren trying to close out 4 shutout. Trying to do it under 50 pitches. On a night where it's 4 runs on 7 hits and an error for Germany. 6 runs on 9 hits and an error for Brazil. One, 2. Broken bat roller, right side. Lutz charges. Lutz flips. Wittgren there. Wins the foot race. And the inning comes to an end. And now A Deutschland dream could be lurking when we come back for the 9th inning. It'll be 8-9-1 for the Germans. Last chance to go to the WBC right after this. Last chance for Team Germany in their bid and quest and dream to reach their first ever World Baseball Classic. Winston Arentz to begin the 9th. And it's ball one from Murillo Gouveia, who so far has gone 5 up and 5 down, leaving Pardinho warming up in the bullpen.
They have been loud outs, especially last inning.
Doesn't get the call. It's 2-0. Arentz with a single back in the second. Since then, he's popped out to second and grounded to third. Germany knows what's at stake. This is it, their last chance, down 2 in the 9th. And a strike over the outside. With Carmo doing the catching, Gouveia gave up 2 very loud outs in the 8th inning. His defense bailing him out on all 3 plays. Same spot, 2-2.
Very different game from this Brazilian pitching staff here. Last time they faced Germany, they walked 11. In this game, they've only walked 2. And that has been a huge difference maker because, as we saw in last inning especially, a lot of hard contact from Germany. Just not much, traffic on the base pass to score.
2-2, we got him. And Gouveia comes back to strike out Arentz for the first out.
That's a tough one for Arentz because he got up 2-0 and then 3 straight strikes. You go down go down swinging, and that really hurts that first out. You gotta get somebody on base here. That's just a slider that stayed up above the bat.
12 long years for the Brazilians since their last and only appearance in the WBC in 2013. Strike one on Schmidt, who singled and scored his last time up in the 7th. Strike 2 with the curve. And Gouveia is turning it up to a different level here in the 9th.
Looks a lot better, a lot sharper with that breaking ball.
And he's working real fast. And Schmidt very protective on 0-2.
Yeah, I mean, right now you got to do whatever you can to get on base. If Alex Schmidt can get himself on base, got a knock last time and scored. You get Brankup back at the top of the lineup, who's been the best player in this German offense, no question tonight. So we try to get him back up. Get back to the top of the order.
Gouveia comes set. For the first time in the history of the Brazilian national team, it's an all-Brazilian coaching staff, led by Yuichi Matsumoto, who again has not changed one iota. Curveball way out of take by Schmidt. Several Brazilian fans sitting in the seating bowl here at Kino Veterans Memorial Stadium, leaning, living and dying with every pitch from Gouveia. They have come far and wide to support their boys. But now Schmidt makes things interesting with a base hit into right. And he's going to play it safe, even though Ramirez overran it just a bit.
Alex Schmidt once again coming through in the clutch for Team Germany after struggling last game at the beginning of the game. Since then, we've seen him really turn things around, and today got himself 2 knocks. Scored a run in the 7th, now hoping to score what would be the run to bring him within 1 here in the 9th. But a good swing, good fight. Started down 0-2, brought it all the way back, got himself a knock. Huge at bat there for Schmidt.
And now Brank trying to attack after Schmidt fought his way back from 0-2 down. Eric Brank, the tying run at the plate, 3 for 4 with an RBI double and a couple of runs. Ground ball to short. This could do it. Ito to second. Back to first. Yes! Brazil has done it! More than a soccer country. Baseball is alive and well. Jump around. You're going to the WBC.
Well deserved for Brazil. Hard fought and won tournament. Struggled at the beginning, turned it around, did not let themselves get down, even though when it started, they just couldn't score, couldn't get the offense going, and boy, did that turn around. Good for Brazil, really turning on the boosters here in the second half of this tournament.
And for all of the elation, all of the smiles, the blood, sweat, and tears, the heartbreak, the agony, and the ecstasy for Team Germany. A shot from the losing dugout. Germany once again comes oh so close, but for the second time here in Tucson, Brazil beats them by 2, and for just the second time ever, the boys from Brazil are going to the WBC, led by their manager, who united them in their effort and their quest to represent their country in next year's World Baseball Classic. Brazil and Colombia emerge from the group of 4 here at the Tucson Qualifier.
We saw an error in the beginning of this game from the left fielder Gomez, and after that, that was such a well-played game by Brazil. And look at them going nuts out there on the mound. That is awesome.
Look at Manny. Look at Manny jumping around in the circle. And now a couple of fans have made their way onto the field. They can celebrate too. What a joyous moment for the Brazilian national team.
I don't think you can say how much this means to a team, especially a team that hasn't made it in so long. Baseball in Brazil, always trying to get better and better. And you see this year, they played a different kind of game than all of the other teams in this tournament. They played their game so well, and that is why they're continuing on. They didn't try to beat Germany at Germany's game. No, they played a good, consistent, fundamental game, bunted a ton. They had 4 sack bunts in this game and did everything they can, including great defense in the 8th especially, to close this one out against Germany.
Defensively, they did it when it mattered. And they roll the double play, no problem, to get Eric Brank, Germany's leader and team captain, and the coaching staff, after losing the opening game to Colombia 5-0, got this group to come together, rebuild, and keep the dream alive. Colombia's celebration was fun. This one was more grand, and it had that Brazilian flavor. But of course, with every winner, there is a loser. More heartbreak for Germany. And again, they come up just short as they still keep searching for their first World Baseball Classic invite.
It hurts for Germany too, because this was the second time they've gotten to this finals game in the qualifiers. They did it in 2013. They lost that game 11-1 to Canada, so it was a huge deficit. But here in this game, they fought their way back, down 6-2 in the 7th, brought it back to 6-4. and then the 8th and 9th. 8th inning was really the heartbreaker here. I think that's the one, if you're the German team, you're going to think about the most. If those players are positioned just a few feet either way, a lot of those drop down for hits, and we got a way different ball game.
Let's look at this group around the mound in a circle. They've come together as one. They stared down the barrel of a loss on Sunday night against Colombia, and now they can celebrate knowing that next year they will be part of the World Baseball Classic. Whether it's a prayer or whether it's a rallying cry, it is a special and emotional moment for Team Brazil and their fans all over the world.
And their fans all here. Such a great contingent for Brazil. You know how excited they are. A lot of blue and gold here on this side, the third base side of the field. And you just can't imagine the excitement these guys are feeling. Let's do it again.
This never gets old. This is why we love this game. This is why someone like me and someone like Steven Brault started playing baseball. Why we love this game. It's for moments like these. And no matter where these Brazilian players end up, no matter where they go, they will forever remember Thursday, March 6th, 2025, on a small diamond in Tucson, Arizona, when these gentlemen came together and advanced to Brazil's second ever World Baseball Classic. Quino Veterans Memorial Stadium, you have been a beauty. And now we've seen Colombia and Brazil both advance, joining the likes of Chinese Taipei and Nicaragua. Here it is. This is what they've all been playing for. 1 year from now, the World Baseball Classic returns, and again, congratulations to the 4 qualifiers. Chinese Taipei, Nicaragua, Colombia, and for the second time ever, Brazil. This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of World Baseball Classic, Inc. and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without express written consent. What a couple of days it has been in the desert. Colombia and Brazil emerge from the Tucson qualifier and complete the 2026 World Baseball Classic field. And we can't wait for it to begin. For Steven Brault and our outstanding crew led by producer Mike Trainer, I'm Greg Caserta saying so long for now, and we will talk to you next March for the World Baseball Classic.